Hello, today I'll be going through a summarized presentation of the life of a Korean pop idol. So let's get started. Okay, so for starters, I'm going to address the key points and the issues from the video of the life of a K-pop idol. First point I would like to address is that the trainees have exceptionally high expectations on their vocal and dance abilities. That means that trainees have to undergo multiple dance and vocal classes to refine their performance skills so that they can be more like a professional. This can be actually really stressful for them, and there's a lot of pressure piled up on their shoulders. Second point I would like to address is that the trainees always faced harsh criticism from the instructors and the music producers, and these harsh criticisms about the flaws of their performance have emotionally affected the trainees, and you can see that in the case of Mizuho, where she said that she has cried alone several times due to some of the flaws and mistakes that she had made in her performance and the criticism that she has received. Next one I would like to address is low self-esteem. So low self-esteem has become really prevalent among K-pop idols, especially about their physical appearances. You can see that in the case of Mizuho, where she has the strong desire to undergo cosmetic surgery to satisfy public's perception of an idol to meet the standards, beauty standards of a K-pop idol. Second last point I would like to address is suicidal thoughts and depression. Because of the amount of criticism and the pressure that they have faced as a professional K-pop idol, suicidal thoughts and depression has become a normality. You can see that in the case of the East Light Band, where one of the members has received mistreatment and he was being physically and mentally abused by the music producers and stuff, and I will be going through that later in details. The last point I would like to address is that there is a significant increase in demand from young children aged from 7 years old onwards, aspiring to enroll into music agencies and have their dream and fulfill their dreams to become and debut as a K-pop idol. So right now I would like to go through the interactionalist perspective first. The interactionalist perspective can be applied with the three socialization theories. So I would like to explain the first socialization theory, which is the Cooley's theory of the looking glass self. This socialization theory can be applied in Mizuho case. For starters, the Cooley's theory can be explained as the reflection of what we think we appear in front of others or how we are viewed and conceived by others. In the case of Mizuho, she imagines herself performing in a concert and she attempts to interpret how the audience will react to her performance. So this kind of explains the indirect social interaction between her and the audience. Also, she will create a self-identity based on how others will evaluate her, and the evaluation usually takes place with her physical traits, and her physical traits such as her waist size, her height, eyes, skin colors, and etc. The above point has explained that and highlighted the constant struggle with handling the reaction of others and the individual perception of herself towards others. So all in all, the constant struggle has really related to the Cooley's theory of the looking glass self. The second socialization theory I would like to explain is the Meets theory of the three play stages, and this can be related to the East Light Band case in the video. First of all, the Meets theory of the three play stages is when the self emerges through the imitation stage, play stage, and game stage. For the case of the East Light Band, you can see that the band members do not have any music lessons provided, and they do not even have fundings for musical instruments, and they have to just buy the instruments for themselves. So for the imitation stage, the band members have to watch videos and tutorial online and copy the professionals in the video while going through the learning process. Afterwards, the play stage. The play stage happens when the band members are able to master the music instrument that they are playing after constant practice, time and effort placed in mastering the musical instruments and watching several videos online and tutorials. Last but not least, the game stage. The game stage is when all of the band members are able to perform together in a synchronized manner where every member have a role in the performance. So you can have the drummer, pianist, guitarist, bass, and etc. So they will be able to know who will get to play the instrument first, who comes into the action next, and etc. So in all for the game stage is when everybody understands each other's roles and they are able to look at the performance in a bigger context where they are able to analyze the entire situation and perform together in a synchronized manner. Socialization theory I would like to explain is the Goffman's presentation of the self. This theory can be related to two of the videos video scenarios that has been explained. So I would like to talk about the children audition case first. First of all, the Goffman's theory suggests that many of our daily activities involve attempts to convey impression of who we are. So for the case of the children audition case, the young children displays distinctive appearances and portray an image during the audition performance to show the judges and the instructors that they deserve to be selected into the music agency. This can be shown when the young children dance with determination, they age out a strong persona and a powerful appearance to show the intended image they want to present as a professional performer. All of the points above has suggested that they are constantly focusing on impression management, where the young children, the young potential trainees, work on certain elements of their audition performances such as their facial expressions, the way how they dance gracefully, just to satisfy and meet the expectations of the judges. The next case I would like to talk about is the Mizuho case. So for the Mizuho case, she worked on her facial expression to age up the character and the song concept. So for examples, cute and adorable songs need those sort of adorable facial expressions like having a full smile throughout the entire performance. Also, she will consciously create a personal image as a professional and imagine the song that the assessment song that she's performing belongs to her to show the sincerity and passion in the performance. What do I mean by that? For example, she may be singing a song with her heart and soul, or even filled with enthusiasm and energy while dancing. Also, for impression management, she will doll herself up, put on a lot of makeup to show the beauty standards before the performance, to present the temporary social role of a K-pop idol professional. Uh, Maybe examples can be like makeup done that suits the concept of the performance, the hairstyles and clothing, and etc. The next theoretical perspective I would like to address is the functionalist perspective. For starters, the functionalist perspective views society as a vast network of connected parts, each of which helps to maintain the system as a whole. The functionalist perspective can be related to the case of the children audition, where there are various parts that assist to maintain stability and fulfill its function to ensure the K-pop music industry remains in a normal state. What do I mean by that? So for the K-pop music industries, there are various interconnected parts, such as the government, where the government do their part to enforce laws to protect the minors' rights, the music agencies, the young and potential trainees, and parents and family members of the young and potential trainees. So for now, I would like to address the manifest, latent, and dysfunctions. The manifest function is that the music agencies attempt to recruit more young bloods to join them. This means that they have a variety of options of who they can select for their debut lineup. So that means they are able to choose the best of the best and be able to produce more successful music artists. More successful music artists and groups means that they will be able to gain recognition and their reputation will increase as well. More reputation and more recognition means more revenue generated. This can be the example of certain music agencies is famous music agencies such as Big Hit, JYP, and YG. They have made huge revenue from their successes in producing famous groups such as BTS, Blackpink, and Twice. All in all, it is a repeated cycle of encouraging young and talented children to audition and enroll into their music agencies which brings them higher potential to continuously debut successful groups and generate more revenue through this systematic approach. The latent function is that as music agencies generate profit with the recruitment of more young bloods and producing more successful groups, the government is also able to extract substantial tax revenue from these music agencies as well. This means that there will be a boost in the South Korean economy and the development and advancement of the country due to the significant contribution from the music industry. As we all know, the K-pop music industry is the core of the South Korean economy, and we know South Korea for their music. Last but not least, the dysfunctions. The dysfunction is that there are too many young children aspiring to become a K-pop idol. Many of the young children focus their time and energy on their dreams to become a K-pop idol rather than formal educations. They even have their own parents' support to neglect their studies and concentrate on their music careers. Because the K-pop music industry has a really stiff competition, this means that lots of young children may be facing rejection from music agencies, and those that have been rejected may be psychologically and emotionally affected, and this will ultimately lead to higher rates of depression and suicide and etc. The last major theoretical perspective I would like to talk about is the conflict perspective. For the conflict perspective, it is all about the competition over scarce resources and the struggle for power in the society. The conflict perspective can be related in the East Light Band case, where the conflict theory is clearly illustrated as the music agency attempts to justify their superior position and authority over the band members. What do I mean by that? The video has actually explained and give us sufficient evidence where the music producers verbally and physically abuse the music artists when they don't perform up to their standards. Considering the case that they have learned the musical instruments on their own, sounds really unfair, isn't it? So, one of the band members have been really beaten up super badly to the point where he suffered post-traumatic stress disorder and has severe depression, and always have constant thoughts of suicide. Although physical abuse is illegal in the music industry, but with the fact that many of these music agencies are being largely unregulated and these band members their rights are not protected by the government, there's actually not much social control to curb this physical and mental abuse. So all in all, for the explanation of the East Light Band case, the music producers exert their authority over the band members and mistreated them and demonstrate a strong sense of dominance over them. The conflict theory plays a significant role in describing this case of the East Light Band because it explains the social structure of the Korean pop music industry has been built in a way where the staff of the music agencies, the music producers, has certain ascribed status over the idols. The staff are also viewed as so-called the stakeholders of the idols because the idols need to continuously follow their instructions and meet expectations of the staff in order for them to not compromise their position in the debut lineup or as a K-pop idol and even receive mistreatment from them. In conclusion, the life of a K-pop idol can be explained with the three socialization theory: the Cooley's theory of the looking glass self, the Mead's theory of the three play stages, and the Goffman presentation of the self. And these three socialization theory largely involve the symbolic interactionist perspective. Also, with the various scenarios shown in the videos such as the East Light Band case and the case of the children audition, I have also explained in a detailed manner with the structural functionalist and the conflict theory perspective as well. All in all, the life of a K-pop idol can be a really complex and complicated issue to study about, so we often need to do further research as sociology, and we need to dig deeper into the social structure of the music industry and how it can actually impact negatively and positively towards the K-pop idols. If not, thank you so much for listening to my presentation.